Let's be honest, Shreddy McShredster, this is David Davidson, the guy with the same name twice. Yes, the Triple Crown winner. Same wife, same kids, same paid-for minivan. That guy. Same guy bringing you 3 triple... Do you see? It's almost like it was destined. 3 things that you can use this winter to shred in 2024. With your cornering skills, I mean, you're going to be so amazing. At cornering in 2024, you're not even going to know what to do with yourself. In fact, you might even be half as good as me, which is pretty decent some days. So take a close listen because your cornering, it's fully dependent on your ability to make quality moves with your body. And you gotta have a great body. You gotta have 6-pack abs to be a good shredder. It's actually not true at all. Don't listen to anything that I have to say because this is totally just for fun. Yeah. It's true, your cornering is fully dependent on your ability to make quality moves with your body. It's like be an athlete and you can do anything on the bike. If you're still stuck after going to clinics, after trying different things, it's really simple. It's because the coaches have showed you body positions, but you haven't learned how to move dynamically. We're gonna cover how to do that today right here in this video. Let's go. Now, what I like to call it when you're copying a body position is it's really just you're a body position or a skeleton position rider. And here are the symptoms so you know if this is you. Number 1, you have to grab brake in corners because you lose your balance. Number 2, your bike wants to stand up and you feel like you're fighting the bike in the corners. Number 3, you feel like your shoulders and your back are like hunching or tight. You feel a lot of tension here in the shoulders, up here in the chest. It just feels like you're locked in a push-up and you're struggling. Symptom number 4, you feel like you're bracing and you're hunching and locking and leaning onto the bars. Symptom number 5, you feel like you're fighting to get the bike to turn. It just wants to go straight and you want it to turn. Simple. Ultimately, if you feel these things, you're going to feel frustrated and your cornering ability is going to really lack. You end your rides without feeling like you're anywhere closer to your goal, and it just kind of sucks. So let's talk about some solutions to fix this for you right now. And again, these are so simple. You can do them in your basement when it's snowing and it's 4 feet of snow outside. So very simple. The first one is training your core to support the torso. Training your core to support the torso, okay? Now, you need to train your core to support the torso, not with crunches and planks, but rather with a new way of kind of being around the house, being at the desk. The reason why is you need to deprogram your body from being great at being a human being. So being great at a human being in 2024, look, it's scientifically proven that almost every mountain biker is a late 30s or 40s middle-aged dad with a professional job. Most of you sit for work and you're in the car 3 hours a day, you're sitting down 5-7 hours a day, you are sitting a lot. You are a responsible person, and these responsibilities show up in the form of mortgages, kids, spouses, being responsible at work. Good on you. So the problem is that being great at everyday life means that you also are literally doing the very first thing to deprogram your deep core to not support your torso. And we become really weak throughout here and the lower back. Here's the thing, being great, being responsible, I'm actually proud of you. Good job, boss. The problem is that it ain't gonna make you a great mountain biker and you've already spent $7,000 on your mountain bike or mountain bikes, if you're like me. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a road bike. Did I forget any? There's another 10. Yeah, I have a problem. Okay, in order to be great at your responsibilities, there's a high probability that you are also deprogrammed in your core to not support your torso. Again, it's not your fault, it's just you're really good at things that do this by default. It's okay. Now, the reason why is because sitting at a desk, it programs us to basically have kyphosis, where we lean forward at the shoulders and our sternum compresses down, everything closes in here, we don't engage our core at all, and our spine takes all the weight. And ultimately what this leads to is our body defaulting to this as a natural position, which when you take that out to the mountain biking trails, it means that you have to support your core with something else. Notice the trends from above. If you feel those are all symptoms of having a weak or deprogrammed core muscle, okay? The alternative is that radical riders, I gotta think of a better name for you guys, but we're all here, we're radical. So radical riders, the ones that get out there and are shredding the corners in 2024, impressing their friends, they have a core that supports their torso, but more importantly than that, they can do moves on the bike easily. And they have proper core engagement. It allows muscles like the QL muscle to do their job. It allows the hamstrings to do the correct job. It allows for our shoulders to do the right job. It allows for everything to fall into place. Everything comes back to the core. It's the first mover muscle. And there's actually a deep core muscle that I talk about in depth in the video right here. It's called the transversus abdominis. It's kind of a cool one, so check it out. So the truth of the matter is that you must train this muscle and this set of muscles in order to be a good mountain biker. You cannot get away with this. Anyone who says otherwise literally doesn't know what they're talking about. So like, you guys got to get on the bandwagon here. If you want to be a radical rider in 2024, hit your goals, feel good about yourself, and make good on your investment of your mountain bikes, then get after it. Instead of me giving you a ton of exercises right now, what I'd rather do is just say, hey, look, we need to elongate our spine during the day. And one way to do that, one way to elongate our spine during the day is to add a little bit of pressure just above the hip bones right here on the inside, and then lengthen the spine. One symptom of a strong core is a lifted sternum. So as we lift it up and out, that means that we're able to breathe and our chest can expand on top while our torso is supported by the core muscles around the belly. Pretty simple. So really try to expand your core, expand and lengthen that spine during the day. One thing I'd suggest is to set a timer if you're a desk worker. Every 15 minutes, just have it beep at you. Raise that sternum, lengthen the spine, enjoy your day. That's a good one. Now, if you can improve your ability to support your torso with your core, then imagine how much more of an athlete you're going to be on the bike if you operate like you did when you were 5, 10, 15 years old. It's pretty awesome. So there's tons of riders out there right now who have strong, engaged core muscles and know how to move off the bike, and they can translate that to on the bike. And if you want to be one of them, I suggest you start right now. And the truth is that fit riders, they absolutely smoke their goals. They're the ones that are out there and they're able to do more things because they paid attention to the right things now. You know this is something that everybody knows. I don't need to tell you, go work out, but my goodness, an engaged core and a happy core means a happy rider. So let's make it happen. Now, mountain biking is hard, and it's a whole lot harder than we are good at it, especially if we don't have the right insights. Now, for those of you looking to join us, right now we're on a mission to help 10,000 riders shred with confidence. Click the link below. I want you to watch the short video and join our membership. Inside, you're going to get fitness that's actually personalized to you. You're going to be getting instruction and progression videos that you can practice at home. You can practice them on the trail. And these progression videos are going to help you add skill to that athleticism that we build. And then finally, it's an awesome community where we help teach you about flow. Go ahead and join right now. We haven't had this open for the longest time. So if this is something that you want more of, I don't care if you're I've had people in New Zealand ask about this. I've had people in Canada ask about this, and it's open. Click the link below. We want you in. Come and get it. The second hack that even lazy riders can use this winter to shred corners in 2024 is to focus on one thing while you ride. What is focusing on one thing while you ride? It is not a hyper focus on a single body part. It's not a hyper focus on a body position. Rather, it is an expansive, open way to experiment with one concept. And what is the one concept that I encourage for cornering? It's really simple. It starts with a T. It's called tilt. So when we tilt our bike, it allows the bike to corner independent of our body. It's a very simple concept. I go way in depth into how to corner in this video. I never know where these things are. You guys kind of know the drill right now. It's like, you know where the link is. I'm going to point to the wrong place and it's going to be somewhere else. All right, click that link. Most riders that I know don't get out and ride as much during winter, and if you can only ride once or twice or thrice in the next month or two before the sun comes out again, this is for you. This is how to tilt the bike and how to get a ton out of it without even having to focus on anything except for having fun on your ride. Now, riders like you who want to crush their 2024 goals, they're not doing more. They're not doing 400 drills. They're not doing 500 things on every single ride. They're definitely not doing a super complicated workout. They're just doing the right things for them. And the single best way to do the right thing for you on the limited amount of trail rides that you have to get better at cornering, it's going to be tilt that bike. So let's start first with try focusing on how much the bike angle is tilted over. So this is you and this is the bike angle. Okay, real simple. First, I want you to use a little tilt for little turns and a lot of tilt for big turns. If the turn is sharp, try experimenting with more tilt. And if the turn is not so sharp or very wide and sweeping, try to experiment with little tilt. Now, keep in mind, none of this will work for you if you skipped over the first one and if you're about to skip over the third hack I'm going to give next. So I've sandwiched this one in the middle just so you know where we're going. And make sure and pay attention to number 1 and number 3, because if you can't do those, you will not be able to do this move right here. It just doesn't work. If you prefer to drop your outside foot, I want you to try keeping your feet and pedals level with the horizon as you're doing this drill, just to get a feel for how to tilt the bike differently. It'll help you, trust me. Next, I want you to try tilting the bike way more than you need. Try tilting it way less than you need to. See what happens. When you tilt it more, does it give you more balance? When you tilt it less than you need, do you have to compensate in other ways? Try these different exaggerations of too much and too little tilt for the situation to see what happens. And then keep riding, keep on having some fun. Next, I want you to try tilting too early. Try tilting too early and see what happens. Tilt too late. Wait until it's almost too late to tilt the bike and you're already in the turn, and see what happens. See how you have to compensate and see what tilting early can do and help with your timing. Pretty cool. Try adding in a little bit of brake while you're cornering, probably the rear brake so you don't change your geometry, and see what happens to the tilt of the bike. Does the tilt of the bike stay the same? Are you able to maintain the geometry of your body? And what kind of things happen when you add in a little bit of brake? Try braking more to where you can actually brake, dad joke, you can brake the tire away from the turn and start skidding a little bit and see what happens. Now listen, can you see how playing with a concept is so much more about learning and discovering a new thing on the bike than it is about how to hold your hand in a perfect, like your pinky in a perfect position. I think that this way of learning is so much better than the way that a lot of clinics teach it or the way that a lot of beginners are learning. Again, clinics and beginner lessons can help you go from beginner to intermediate, but a lot of times going from intermediate to an advanced rider, you need to go out there and play with the concept and apply it and see what happens. It shows you where you're weak, it shows you where you're strong, and it can actually show you exactly if you're even doing the technique at all, which is the most valuable feedback you can get. So take this bike tilt drill out to the trails, let me know how it's going, but before you do, let's go on to number 3 to bring it all home and bring it together. The third hack is kinetic squatting super slowly. And this move is not innovative. In fact, it's basically prehistoric, and you could do this when you were a baby, okay? Now, I want to let you in on a little secret. Just doing more kinetic squats will not help you. This is not something that you win points by doing more reps or by getting stronger at it. This is a feedback device. And why is this so important? You have to listen to this entire explanation for this to make sense, so pay attention. If you stayed with me so long, thank you for that. Here we go. If you want to shred corners like this, you need to be an athlete first who can change directions and use the torso and the legs and the hips for the jobs they're intended to do, period. And in order to do this move smoothly like an athlete, you must be able to position your body and dynamically move the lower body to compensate for changes in the trail and to add correct pressure and do it in the direction that it's supposed to happen. Most of the positioning is done with an upper body torso hinge at the hips, okay? So like the height or the angle of the hips dictates the height and direction of the torso. And all you're doing with the torso is putting it where you're about to need it to go. That's all the trail riding is, simple. It's a very simple concept, but this is the thing that I see most riders missing most often. And I've seen quite a lot of this, so trust me on it. And the other thing too is that a lot of the riding mistakes that I see where people think that they're doing this right, they're following the coaching protocol that they've been given correctly, but they're doing it in reverse. See, the way that coaching is taught is they're telling you to look with your eyes, then move your head, then move your shoulders, then with your belly button, then with your hips. And this is correct. This is correct. However, there's another aspect. There's a bike attached to your feet. And I'm sure that none of you have ever seen someone cornering where their feet come off the pedals at the same time. It doesn't work. We're always connected to the bike. And watch a person who's really, really good at cornering. What you're going to notice is that the head goes down the path that they're supposed to go down, and the bike moves around like this, almost like a butterfly. So if you're stuck, the reason why is because you may possibly be putting your torso where you need it to go. However, you're not connecting with your body in a way that makes sense to where you can dynamically anticipate the trail, add pressure at the right time, and I'm going to solve that for you now. So what you need to do on a trail ride is you need to initiate the direction with your head and your eyes and put your torso where it needs to go, and then you need to follow by dynamically moving with the hips and the feet independent of the torso. And while you're doing this, you must be able to articulate your hips your hip joint, your knee joint, your ankle joint, and you must be able to do that with complete control and strength and certainty. That's where the kinetic squat's going to help us. So the reason why this is so helpful is because if you don't have this, then what's happening is you're going to have to compensate with a movement to put the bike where it needs to be, and you almost always end up locking something that should be moving dynamically. Remember that last time you're going over the corner and you felt tight or you felt tension? This is why. It's simply because you're going down, and when something locks, then something that should be moving doesn't move, and therefore, if your tire is here, it needs to be here, or if your body is here and it needs to be here, then what happens is you either lose balance or you lose traction. And then the next thing that happens is because you're tight and stiff and you've lost balance or traction, you grab brake or you get forced to move into a body position that's unnatural, and it just feels wrong, and then it ruins your ride, and then you're embarrassed because your $7,000 bike is better at shredding than you are, and you're getting passed by some kid who doesn't know what they're doing on a $300 Huffy. No offense to Huffy, that was my very first bike, and you're here to definitely beat the Huffy kids, right? So now instead, what we're going to do is we're going to find our weak spots by engaging in a kinetic squat. And this is what a lot of radical riders are doing, to go out there and really find, okay, where's my body strong, where's it weak, and kind of getting a little bit of feedback and doing it slowly, okay? Now, instead what we want to do, we want to eliminate these weak spots that cause imbalance or lack of traction by doing a kinetic squat. So here's how to do it. Just like this, start doing a squat, and I'm talking 5, 10, maybe 20 seconds on the way down and 5, 10, 20 seconds on the way up. This is ridiculously slow. The slower you can go, the better. Now, your muscles, they may burn, they may shake a little bit, you might feel a little uncomfortable, you might tilt forward. All this is super normal. That doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means that that's showing you where you're weak. Does that make sense? Now, the real goal here is to fully engage the quads, the hamstrings, and the glutes, the entire range of motion. So even if you can compensate by using one or the other, I want you to fully engage each and every one of these muscles all the way, like tight. Now, go do one or two of these. Pause this video, do one or two of these, and let me know how you feel after one or two. Like, okay, now that, seriously, go do it now. And okay, so now that you've started the video back up, how's it feeling? You feel like you just did 50, right? Now, we all know 100 air squats are pretty mad. It's pretty wild, and it can wear you out. But did you know that doing 2 air squats is really going to wreck you? The reason why, it's not because isn't necessarily because your cardio is bad or your muscle strength is bad. It's just showing you where your movement patterns are inefficient and weak. And this is literally the reason why so many riders who go out and are good at riding can't be great. It's because you're asking your body to do things that it's super compensating at doing. I know for me, this exercise makes me want to cry for my mom. And speaking of moms, all of you like 3 people who leave negative comments on my channel, make sure and thank your mom for folding your laundry for you so you have time to leave negative comments on YouTube. You're still welcome to hang out here. I just need somebody to roast. So thanks. Now, for all of you self-sufficient rad dads out there who don't live with your mom at 40 years old, and you're ready to get that dad bod diaphragm turned into like a solid, stable stature. There we go. Oh my gosh. I should not be a comedian. Get ready to emulate some perfect cornering form with me right now. We're going to take this drill to the next level. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to do this without even touching a bike. And again, you should feel like you're terrible at this next thing. And doing this drill isn't necessarily going to turn you into someone who's great at cornering. I just really want to demonstrate. Now that you felt the challenge of the kinetic squat, I want you to repeat it super slow. Again, if you can do 10 seconds down, 10 seconds up, or 20 seconds down, 20 seconds up, repeat that again. This time I want you to pivot the torso. Keep your torso pointed in a straight direction, but pivot on top of your hips like this as you go down and as you go up. If you can't do this, your body cannot do this on a bike either. And it's part of the reason why you're struggling with becoming great at cornering. Check it out. Now take a look at this move I'm doing right here to zip around a set of turns. It's just that I want to show you why all the things that I talk about body first, kinetic movement, about muscle patterns, how that actually translates for you often on the bike. I mean, anyone can sit up here and talk about how important being fit is, but I have to show you the depth of this and how impossibly correlated this is. It's ridiculous. So if you want to be a great rider and you're not paying attention to this in 2024, I mean, get in my program right now. Come join us. Like, it's ridiculous. Just click the freaking button, go down there and do it. Like, just do it. There's no reason not to. Seriously, you're a mountain biker. If your garage looks like this, you're one of me. It's okay, come join us. Now, exactly what is happening while you're doing this kinetic squat and turning is I'm demonstrating torso mapping. And torso mapping is simply putting the torso where it needs to be on the trail before you get there. It's that simple. The torso needs to go down the trail in the smoothest path possible. That's it, there's nothing else to it. Downhill, XC, cross country, enduro, all of it, it's the same. Now, second, this is where it gets crazy. The hips and the legs need to articulate in 3 different ways while our torso is going down the trail in the direction it needs to go. In other words, your hips and legs are 3D articulators, 3 dimension. You need to do 3 things with the hips. The first things you need to do is twist them independent of the torso. The second thing you need to do is you need to tilt them relative to the bike and the torso. And the third thing is we need to extend and retract the legs to match the distance so that you can apply pressure. Now, can you see how if you try to think about all this and mentally focus on it, how it's just a recipe for disaster? You're gonna end up overthinking your way straight to the ground. Now, this is just a taste of what we have in our membership, so go join now if that interests you and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. Peace.